Vegetarian Lifestyle Mastery 101. Perfect health is like a puzzle, okay? You gotta have all the pieces together if you wanna be healthy. So there are three main parts to the puzzle, and they are your mind, your mouth, and your muscle. There are a lot of people who just focus on the mind. They do a lot of meditation, relaxation, breath work, that sort of thing, just to calm the mind, and they neglect the mouth and the muscle. You know, they eat crap and they're overweight, and they don't work out, and they're not very fit. And you don't want to be like that. And then there are a lot of people who just focus on the muscle. You know, they go to the gym, maybe they take steroids, they're massive, or they just do fitness, and they don't take care of their mouth or their mind. They don't get enough sleep, and they don't eat, you know, enough fruits and vegetables and coconuts. And then there are the people who just focus on diet. They just focus on their mouth. They don't do any fitness, and they don't take enough time to relax and calm the mind and live a stress-free life. Everybody knows someone who's in one of these categories. We know someone who's really focused on the mind, we know someone who's really focused on fitness, and we know someone who's really focused on the food. But it's rare that you find someone who's focused on all three. And if you focus on all three, you're gonna get amazing results. You're gonna feel outstanding. Who focuses on all three? Who do you know? Post in the comments down below who focuses on the mind, the mouth, and the muscle. Very, very important to do that, to do this. So in this video, I'll quickly show you how to do that. So stay tuned. First up, we get the mind. How to take care of your mind. Well, my absolute favorite tool for taking care of the mind is the bed. You just lay down and go to sleep. You just lay down and go to sleep. A lot of people can't do that though. So I'd suggest taking a step before going to bed is just to sit down and meditate for either 5, 10, or 15 minutes. And the easiest way to do this is to sit down, close your eyes, sit down, set the timer for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, press go, close your eyes, and try not to move. If you move, it's all good. If you open your eyes, it's all good. Just calm yourself down. And remember, it's a practice. You're practicing meditation. When you do this, when you can sit still for 15 minutes with your eyes closed, you're gonna fall asleep right away. You can fall asleep right away. It's, for some reason, it's just easier to get into a calm mental state sitting in meditation than it is to just all of a sudden go lay down. Maybe it's because you're in the habit of going to lay down and start thinking of all these crazy thoughts. But if you sit down and take a practice of just closing your eyes, calming down, clearing your head, by the time you go to lay down, your head's already going to be clear and you're going to be able to fall asleep like a baby. And my other favorite tool is a float tank. So if you can get a float tank, if you can get access to a float tank, I'd suggest floating at least 3 times a day. I'm sorry, three times a day would be amazing. 3 times a week minimum would be fantastic. Your mind is going to just take to the next level. So that's what I would suggest for the mind. Take care of your mind by getting your naps, getting in some relaxation. Get to bed early, take a nap, and if you can, float. And try and get to bed before you're tired. Okay, don't go to bed when you're tired. When you're tired, you're already in the red zone, your battery's in the red zone, it's not healthy. Not as healthy as getting to bed when you're still fresh. Notice this. Go to bed when you're not tired, and notice your dreams. They're so much more real. And notice how much more refreshed you feel when you wake up. When you go to bed in the green zone instead of the red zone, you're gonna wake up in the green zone rather than the red zone. But if you go to bed when you're really exhausted, you're gonna wake up still kind of groggy. But if you go to bed before you're tired, you're gonna wake up, boom, supercharged. And that's the way you wanna be. That's the way you wanna be. One more thing about the mind actually, before we leave, is you not only have to rest the mind, but you have to feed the mind. You have to feed your mind. So what you're doing right now, awesome, you're feeding it. You're feeding it good stuff. You're feeding it energetic vibes. Okay, we're always feeding your mind energetic vibes. People think you gotta feed yourself with information. It's not information you want, it's the emotional connection with that information that you want. Let me say that again. It's the emotional connection with that information that you want. I could tell you a stat right now saying like, 1 in 3 people die of cancer. It's just a stat, doesn't mean much. But if I said, hey, there's 3 people standing here. One of us is gonna die of cancer. Oh man, that has emotional impact, doesn't it? Way more than just saying a random stat. So, what is it? Facts tell, stories sell. So stories, you have this emotional connection with them. And that brings me to the point of audiobooks. You're feeding your mind, you gotta do it with an emotional, something you're emotionally connected with, and a great way to do that is to listen to audiobooks. Audiobooks are usually written in a way that they tell a story but also convey a lot of facts, and you remember things a lot easier that way. And you learn a lot about a lot of things when you're listening to stories. So if you want a way of taking your mind off the stresses of daily life, because when you focus on the stress of daily life, they just become bigger. That's why meditation is great, because you just quiet everything. But if you actually want to feed your mind with something exciting and fascinating and interesting, then listen to some audiobooks. I would suggest 5 right here. I'll suggest 5 really quickly. The Power of Habit, okay? The Power of Habit. The Willpower Instinct, amazing. The Compound Effect, fantastic book. The Alchemist, really, really good book. How to Win Friends and Influence People. I'll suggest 2 more. Psycho-Cybernetics, fantastic. And I'll say another one would be A Short History of Nearly Everything by Bill Bryson. A Short History of Nearly Everything by Bill Bryson. That book is gonna make you learn so much in such a enjoyable way. So take care of your mind, guys. And next up we have the mouth. You are what you eat. You are what you ate, as Tim Van Overton would say. You're not what you eat, you are what you ate. So whatever you've been eating, that's really what your cells are made up of. They say it's easier to change someone's religion than their diet, because you are what you ate, and when you try and change someone's diet, you're trying to change them. And people resist being changed. People don't resist change. Change is happening all the time, but people resist being changed. People like to really stay the same usually. And even if they do want to change, there's still that resistance in changing. You know the cigarette smoker, like, oh, I hate being addicted. And you're like, why don't you just quit? I'm like, I can't. You know, I just love the stuff or whatever. You know, or then they start to justify. They'll go like, well, I don't actually really want to quit, but you know they do. It's harder to change someone's diet than it is to change their religion. So you don't need to just completely change your diet, and I wouldn't recommend doing that. You never change a dog's diet overnight. You never change a cat's diet overnight. You got to ease them into it. So to change your own diet, just focus on the fruit. 2 F's. Focus on the fruit. Focus on the fruit. If you just keep focusing on the fruit, next thing you know, you're going to be having a pineapple, a watermelon, some dragon fruit, a mango, melon, and you're going to be eating lots and lots of fruit. And that's really all there is to it. Diet is so simple. You could write a book and you could have 1 sentence saying, focus on the fruit, period, the end. That's it. Focus on the fruit. And when you're eating lots and lots of fruit, you're gonna feel amazing. You're gonna feel amazing. Do your best to get to the point where you're eating fruit, maybe some vegetables, maybe some coconuts, at the exclusion of all other foods. When you've got to that point, you're set. There's really nothing else to be said. Diet is very, very simple. It just takes time. You gotta give it time. You gotta give it time. You gotta give your body time to adapt. Give yourself at least a year before you try and go fully fruitarian, before you try and go fully raw. Give yourself a year. Allow yourself to have some cooked foods for the first year or so. And just always be striving to get better, to be having more and more fruit. That's it. That's it. So when you're getting your good night's sleep, when you're resting, your mental state is nice and clear and clean, and then you start eating the fruit, man, you're setting yourself up for success big time. Anyways, next up we're talking about the muscles. Your heart is a muscle. Your tongue is a muscle. Your fingers are muscles. You got muscles in your fingers. Your body is all muscle, you know. Your neck is a muscle. Your jaw is a muscle here. You got muscles here. You got muscles in your head. And all of them can get stronger. You can strengthen every single muscle in your body. You can stretch every single muscle in your body as well. So, you focus on your mind, you get that clear. You focus on your mouth, you clean up your diet. And now you focus on the muscle because you got so much energy. And you've had a full night's sleep, you had a great breakfast, and now you're ready to go work out. So just like your mouth, just like changing your diet, you got to give your muscles time. They require time. They require years to get really fit. They require years to get really resilient. But you do get a massive amount of results within the first couple weeks of working out. If you take any couch potato and put them on a fitness routine, within 2 weeks they're gonna feel like a completely different person. Within 2 weeks, they feel like a completely different person. You could set any record on day 1, and 2 weeks later, you're gonna break it for sure. You could set 100 records on day 1, and 2 weeks later, you're gonna break all 100 records. Your body is just amazing, and it's a machine, and it adapts quickly. But typically, people see people who are really, really fit, they want to be that fit as well. But it takes years to get that fit. So just give yourself time and just always try to improve a little bit each week, a little bit every couple weeks, and have fun with it, man. Fitness is the thing people dread most. But honestly, it's the funnest. It's the funnest. Eating isn't fun. Eating is enjoyable, but eating isn't fun. Doing meditation, relaxing, getting a nap, that's not fun, but it's very enjoyable. But fitness, man, fitness is fun, and afterwards it's very enjoyable. There's a little wild dog here. And if you look at any animal, any organism, they're always moving, always moving, always moving. Humans are the only animal, look in nature, humans are the only animal, maybe sloths, but I think sloths still, they're always on the move, I think. Humans are like the only animal who just sit and just waste away. I can't stand sitting for long periods of time, man. I feel like I'm wasting away. My muscles gotta move, and you get to a point where your standards are so high that you can't sit down for too long. You gotta be moving. You're like an Energizer bunny. You gotta go, 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 go. I can't really watch movies now, like full-length movies. I usually watch like half at a time because I gotta go do something. You know, who do you know that sits down, has a watermelon, and watches a movie, or drinks a glass of orange juice and just sits and watches a movie? Rarely happens. It's usually people who eat some cooked food, they have a bowl of rice or some potatoes or some popcorn, and they just, you know, veg out and zombify and just watch the movie. But to be 100% fully raw fruitarian and watch a lot of movies, it's very rare. So you have so much energy, you gotta move. So anyways, muscles. The best 3 exercises, I'd say, I'm kind of biased here, but I would say the swim, bike, and the run. And that's because they're so well balanced. You know, the swimming gives you the upper body flexibility and the flotation, so there's no impact. The cycling is so fun, you can explore. Cycling is so fun. You can explore, you go fast, you go all over the place. And pedaling, so there's no impact. And then running allows you to strengthen your bone density. So they did studies comparing runners to cyclists, and runners have way stronger bone density. And all this talk about running screwing up your knees, it doesn't screw up your knees if you're landing properly. This is the road, and this is your foot. You gotta land like mid-foot. Don't land heel. A lot of people landing heel. They think you gotta land heel and roll. Land mid-foot. Someone's coming right now, one sec. Sitting. Just sitting. People sit all the damn time. If you're gonna sit, at least try and squat. Get into a squat position. So yeah, as for cardio, swim, bike, and run, amazing. Learn proper running technique before you do it. Learn proper swimming technique before you do it, and get proper bike fitted before you bike. And then for strength training, so that's for cardio. That's for strengthening your heart, and yeah, tones your muscles a bit, but big time actually. But for strength training, you check out semi-explosive lunges. It's good luck if you catch a leaf that falls. Very good luck. Check out semi-explosive lunges on YouTube. I got a video on there. Check out 100 squats. If you can do 100 squats non-stop, awesome. Do your best to get them under 3 minutes. Once you can get under 3 minutes, do your best to get under 2 minutes. So we got lunges, we got squats, and then learn to pull up. Learn to pull up, man. Upper body strength is huge, like hugely important. Way too many people get old and then they lose their strength. So pull-ups, and then you can do some push-ups as well. Push-ups are great, but squats are going to strengthen your core. Lunges are going to strengthen your hips. Pull-ups are going to strengthen your upper body big time, and then push-ups are going to strengthen your arms big time. So yeah, if you got those 4, then you're set. So quick recap: we got the mind, mouth, and muscle. And for the mind, mouth, and muscle, we want the float tanks, we want the fruit, and we want the fitness. Float, fruit, and fitness, mind, mouth, muscle. There we go, guys. Hope you enjoyed this video. There's a lot to cover. Maybe you want to watch it again. And with the audiobooks, don't just listen to an audiobook once. The beauty of an audiobook is that you can listen to it many times without ever getting sick of it. I've listened to some audiobooks 5 or 6 times, and other audiobooks 20 times. They're just, you go for a walk, you go for a swim. Yeah, I go for a swim. I have a headset underwater, but I don't use it too much. Go for a bike ride. clean your house, whatever. Do whatever you gotta do. Do some grocery shopping while you listen to audiobooks, and then do some gardening, whatever. And then you just, once you're done the audiobook, boom, put it on again and listen to it all over again. You're not gonna get ever sick. You won't ever get sick of them. And when you focus on good stuff like that, life becomes so much more exciting, and you realize that, wow, I'm here to learn. My life purpose is to learn as much as I can and to share it with the world, help other people. So, peace, guys.